Hello, everyone. What is going on? My name is Timpedia. Welcome back to the TNT podcast.
Episode 162.
Because you just looked it up to check the audio.
I quite literally had it open to check our audio levels. As always.
Sorry, I just thinking about how that just cut off was just funny. I'm not trying to dead air. Yes, as always, we have the normal crew here, just three of us, the OGs. But on my right,
it's Friedman, also known as Andrew, but mostly known as Friedman.
And on my left,
it's just Tyler.
And we are here to talk about what matters, like
to some of us,
wonderful game known as Magic the Gathering.
Oh, is that what this shit is called? I was like, what the fuck is this? Oh no, because MTG. I completely disregarded what was above that, and I was like, what the hell is Mom? I don't get it.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about Mommy. We're gonna talk about Mommy. We're gonna talk about
Sorry.
Mommy. We're gonna talk about the newest Magic set.
All right, so there's been some news in the Magic world. So we're in the middle of a big arc getting finished right now. Freeman, I didn't realize less than a month ago, like two weeks ago, the newest set, All Will Be One, which was about a bunch of planeswalkers getting corrupted by the Phyrexians, who are the bad guys. There's this whole bit, and the start of this interplanar war for the first time ever. Basically, planes are all being plugged into each other, and crossovers galore, crazy shit happening all over the place.
The second Avengers Endgame event in Magic in the last decade.
I was gonna say, wasn't War of the Spark like less than 5 years ago?
Yes, and it feels tiny compared to this.
You know what's so funny? Okay, we're gonna get into this real quick. We're already gonna get into it. Even though, like, if you think about it, the release of Marvel content versus Magic content, like, Magic gets 4 sets a year that push the story forward, and Marvel used to get like 3 movies a year. And yet, it feels like War of the Spark just happened, and Endgame feels like forever ago. Now, part of that is because Marvel accelerated with all the TV shows. And actually, it's funny, but at my company meeting this morning, a bunch of the chatter beforehand was about how Marvel's kind of lame now.
Damn.
They're not wrong.
No. But I feel like the Magic story goes from not mattering to, oh my god, this matters so much.
Yeah.
Like, none of the interplanar stuff matters, so the only things that have stuck around for the last few years, like, remember when Vorinclex showed up, Friedman? On Kaldheim? And everyone was like, yo, we're gonna do a Phyrexian war in like 5 minutes. And Wizards was like, no, it's a preview. Like, we're gonna get there, blah, blah. And here we are, like, literally 2.5 years after Kaldheim. And yet, none of the story of what happens on a given plane matters at all. So the only thing I've been thinking about is, when is Phyrexia going to happen? When is Phyrexia going to happen? When is Phyrexia going to happen? And now we're in it. And so this weekend was a big Magic Con Philadelphia. We actually could have gone for even if we wanted to drive 2 hours. But...
Yeah, fuck that noise.
Yeah, I know.
It was 2 hours?
Well, what format was it?
Pioneer.
Fuck that noise. I don't know.
2 hours. That's 2 hours. Y'all tripping.
What's wrong with 2 hours for a giant...
2 hours is nothing.
Oh, yeah. No, I know.
Oh, no, it had nothing to do with the time to go.
Yeah,
I'm not going to Magic events.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I say fuck him too.
So, Reed Duke won the Pro Tour, which was actually really cool because he's a very famous, very wholesome Magic player.
Very nice hair.
But more importantly to us as casual people who are not playing professionally, Wizards spoiled a ton of shit for what is coming later this year, including the next set called March of the Machines, aka Mom. What a hilarious 3-letter acronym to pick for your war set. Like, seriously.
Mommy, sorry. Mommy.
For real.
So Wizards spoiled a bunch of cards from it, and we don't have to get into it. They spoiled Jin Gitaxias getting his 3rd card, which I'm guessing all the Praetors are going to get another new card. And it has he turns into a saga. We have Corrupted Heliod, which is crazy. We have...
More important thing is we've got these crossover legend cards.
Yes.
where it's just take your 2 favorite legendary creatures and just put an and between their names, and you get some weird stapled together effect.
Like
which
Thalia and the
Hawaii
Gitrog
player.
monster, or Yargle and Moltani. It's basically 2 legendary creatures from a plane. Now so as a crossover, we're getting characters and shit from every single set in Magic's, like every plane that Magic even sort of engages with these days. And there is a astronomical amount of cool stuff in this set. They are also bringing back they've only shown 2, but it seems like they're also bringing back old masterpiece frames, aka my favorite frame of all time, my favorite cards of all time, the Kaldheim Inventions. That frame is coming back for some cards, including a Ragavan.
The Amonkhet Inventions?
You mean the Invocations?
You just said the Kaldheim Inventions.
Oh, Kaladesh. Oh my god.
There you go.
Kaladesh Inventions.
Come on, Tim, Jesus, get
But
the fuck
all of these crazy, like they're bringing back.
That's wrong.
No, sorry, I can't believe I said my favorite plane wrong. They are bringing back like every one of these crazy promo frames they've been doing for the past few years, and it's wild. I'm gonna pay Freeman. I know I messaged our Magic chat. I will pay any amount of money for that Ragavan. Any new card in the Kaladesh Invention frame, I don't care.
You're going to have to be ready to pay any amount of money for that card in that frame.
Yeah, I'm aware. I will, though. Because... no, this is...
What is Henry's tuition?
You got years to save for that. But this card comes out now.
I do want to say, though, Freeman, so this is what I wanted to talk about the March of the Machines stuff. I am getting legitimately really bored with Magic card design. I think... So looking at like Jin-Gitaxias, which is like thousands of words on a card, all of these rares that are crossovers of 2 cards that are basically, let's just take 2 cards that already existed and smash them together.
Them together.
Man, it's getting like... Honestly, I love Moltani and Yargle for being the biggest, dumbest creature literally ever printed. Like, Tyler, the largest creature ever printed before was a 16/16. They just printed an 18/6 creature. They previewed an 18/6 creature with no abilities at all.
He's like 7 mana, so it's not like anything.
No, it's literally just the biggest power number they've ever put on a card. Because you can get creatures that get bigger, obviously, or have like a variable. But this is the biggest number they've ever put on a card's power.
Oh, box. Hold on, wait. I just remembered one that's technically big. Isn't the Dark Depths token of 2020 or something?
But creature printed. I would say yes.
Yeah.
We've seen cards. There has been a card that has bigger. That's fair. But it feels so like
it's bad.
Freeman,
This is a stupid mechanic.
Okay,
I don't like it.
I'm gonna run it back a little bit. Freeman, because we haven't done any Magic videos in a while. My current favorite commander decks are my Captain Vance deck that I love, my Trelasara deck that I love, and my Mishra deck that I haven't gotten to build in paper because money is hard. You know what I realized all 3 of these decks have? None of them have a free win commander. And looking at things like Jin-Gitaxias, the new Omnath, all of these legendaries, there is so much text. You don't have to work to make any of these cards good. They are just so stupid, dumb amounts of text on a card. You don't actually have to do any kind of synergy and any kind of thinking whatsoever. This is just big dumb. Like, look at all these 5-color commanders we've been getting in the last few years. Omnath is just the latest one where it's just, look at this infinity value that you don't have to do. You don't need to do anything. You play Omnath.
This is what the player base demands. These are the cards that get them to buy cards.
I get that. And look, I get that I'm like the old man yelling at clouds thing. I promise I'm not trying to be a boomer and be like back in my day. I promise that's not what I'm going for. I'm saying I wish they made us work a little harder to do cool things. My Captain Vance deck is about casting 3 spells every turn for cool value, and I get to string together dumb cool spells. Omnath, the new Omnath is all 5 colors, so you can play the best cards in the entire game. Literally keeps your mana around in your mana pool and draws you a card every turn and gives you 3 mana if it's a color-intensive card. It is... You would play that as an enchantment. You would play it as a planeswalker. You don't have to do anything. He doesn't do anything. He just generates stupid value. And it frustrates me a little bit because, like, I like feeling like with Vance and Trelisara too. Trelisara, Freeman, it's a 2/2 that's an Ajani's Primate that scries 1. How many times have I popped off with that deck as soon as you give me any kind of momentum, but I actually have to work for it. I have to track triggers. I have to build I have to put in cards that synergize with life gain and balance life gain.
Vance I think I've let your commander live once in like the last 4 games after I saw it win.
Yeah. But it's
Tim,
not.
I need to tell you a cautionary tale because I feel like I've heard this before. So once upon a time there was a boy who had this one IP that he really loved. And he played every release of this IP. He loved it to death and back. He almost got a tattoo of this franchise somewhere on his body. Until at one point or another, the franchise didn't speak to him anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And he begrudgingly got mad at the franchise and said, I'm not supporting this, but still played that franchise. Until one day he finally quit. Tim, do you know what I'm talking about?
Well, I didn't get a Star Wars tattoo, so...
No, you're talking about me and Pokemon here. And I'm saying that it's happening to you and Magic.
No, but no. But
Shit,
here's the thing. Here's the thing. I still love playing Magic, and I would never be upset at someone to play that. I actually am just kind of sad because I want to still love Magic, but they so rarely even sprinkle in these cards that don't have mountains of text. I just wish, like Freeman, the Soul Sisters cards, 1 mana, 1/1 creature. When a creature enters the battlefield, gain a life. Simple, sweet. You have to work for it.
Yeah, but they already printed those cards.
No, I understand that, but I just...
You can't sell them to you.
I get that. But I just wish not every card had to do all the work for you. That's all I'm asking for. And it's sad to feel like I have all these I have 2 of my favorite commanders that are uncommons because at the rare and mythic level, they just pack so much text on a card.
It sounds like it's actually really funny. Like the more you guys talk about like this shit is exactly. I feel like Yu-Gi-Oh just got there quicker.
It did.
Yeah.
No, I mean we've talked about it before, and I don't know. I think on the podcast a little, but like I'm sure Yu-Gi-Oh's in the same place. Like there's
Yu-Gi-Oh
just so
like every couple years they introduce a mechanic that just invalidates everything else in the game because this mechanic is now the only thing that matters. Like,
but you can't do that in Magic because of Commander because it's the most popular format. So what do? They're just it's a slower process where they're just power creeping everything else out.
We almost got there. If they left Companion as a mechanic, that's the closest we get to Yu-Gi-Oh being like, yo, fuck your fusion summons. Now we have synchro summons.
Dude.
And I'm gonna jump onto the next thing because this kind of ties into my point. So they also announced let me jump past what you wrote, Freeman. They also announced some information about the Lord of the Rings set for Modern that's coming out later this year.
Hey, when the fuck did they announce this? I didn't even see this.
This is also on the Magic subreddit, but there's only like 1 post about it. I believe June release date, and then a weird second holiday release in November.
What?
I don't understand this, but we are going to get the Magic the Gathering Lord of the Rings cards. They also spoiled 1 card from the March of the Machines Aftermath set, so they literally spoiled that 2 characters that people know are going to die in March of the Machines, and there's a card about their funeral in Aftermath.
What the fuck?
Apparently,
that's not even out yet, and they're spoiling the plot to it.
So here's the thing. Wizards said that card is the least spoilery card in the entire 50-card set. It's a weird supplemental product they've never done before, but also, like, no one held a gun to your head and made you spoil this card, you psychopaths. Why would you do this? But
why does Wizards of the Coast suck dick?
Yeah, we have
no.
Situation here.
There's a very easy reason. This wasn't even on the docket. Or maybe we talked about it last 2 weeks. Hasbro is down 18% year over year even after Magic had its first billion-dollar year.
Yeah, maybe because
So
it keeps
there's-
spoiling shit. Jesus Christ.
So there's the
No,
answer.
Magic is their
They
only
need it.
profitable part.
They need the hype to keep going. They need the money.
Cool, but like still, the fuck?
But it's really annoying because partially why their stock is down so hard is because Bank of America lowered their price target on it because they're like they are diluting this IP by overprinting content, and their response is to we're not even gonna adjust based on this. We're just gonna print more because that'll.
No, it doesn't matter. We have to. So to that point, the other thing they announced, Commander Masters. We've had Modern Masters. Now we're getting Commander Masters, which apparently includes new cars.
The new cards are only in the pre-con decks. The main packs are
that's
just
fine.
reprints. So it's
Including
more like
things...
a traditional Masters.
Yes.
Because I saw this and I was like, well, what's the difference between Commander Masters and Commander Legends if it's just reprinting big cards of this format plus new cards anyway? Either way, we're getting new slivers. I couldn't be happier, but at the same time, I'm fucking livid. Not only did we interrupt the post-hype season of the last set coming out to be like, hey, look at new cards, look at new cards, look at new cards. Not even 24 or it's not even 48 hours later. We have, hey, don't pay attention to that new set that's not even out yet. Come pay attention to this other new set that also isn't even out yet. Come look at all this stuff you're going to spend money on. And I just see all this and I'm like, stop.
Yes.
I can only care about one thing at a time.
Correct.
And you're really pushing hard to make it so that I can.
Correct. So the reason I wanted to jump ahead before we finish our talk about this. So Commander Masters, we're getting Jeweled Lotus or Dragon, whatever. I'm sure it won't lower the prices of anything whatsoever because fuck Wizards. There are 4 pre-con decks being released as part of this set. Eldrazi Colorless, 5 color slivers, 3 color planeswalkers, and I can't remember the other one. But Freeman, you know what I thought as soon as I saw this? And I think
They're
you'll
printing
appreciate.
decks directly.
Oh, Enchantress. No. Well, yes, there are 2 of these decks are for you. Before 5 or so years ago, when Wizards started only printing pure value 5-color commanders, you know what were the only options for 5-color commanders for like the first 10 years of Commander's life? The fucking slivers.
Yeah, I know slivers were the
was,
biggest one when I started playing.
You had to buy a sliver just to run a 5-color deck. There was no free value. There was no like slivers is the embodiment of the 5-color tribe, and it's actually sad to me that they've fallen so far behind because everything else has so much value. It was like you worked hard with slivers and you actually got value. And I'm not saying it was pure fun to play against, obviously.
Oh, no, most people hate slivers. The reason I barely play it anymore.
No, I get that. But, like, it's so funny to me to think it's a retro throwback to make a 5-color sliver deck now. That's where we're at in Magic. And Eldrazi... But the Eldrazi Titans were, for a long time, the only colorless commanders in the game. They didn't exist. And now here we are also doing a retro throwback. So it's funny to me that they picked that. And then Enchantress is whatever. Enchantress is like the opposite of the synergy I'm looking for because Enchantress is the easiest synergy on the planet. You just run every card that says when an enchantment X, do Y, and you win the game for free. It's like Luigi's deck.
It's all about having a unique color combination because they all do it slightly differently.
Oh my god, it's so... Come on.
And this one's Abzan, and Abzan hasn't had an Enchantress commander yet.
Freeman,
so
that just
it's a cool archetype.
So much.
Because like as much as I love playing black-white Enchantress, green-white is where it's at. And this is the rare opportunity to cross over these two very distinct Enchantress colors that have never been able to cross over before. So I'm at least excited. Yeah, all these are printed for me. Let's be real here.
They're all printed for me.
They're all printed for me.
And that's awesome. I don't know. I hate this constant hype cycle. Like, I already forgot a lot of the all will be one cards, honestly. And there were some cool cards in there. But like for my decks, honestly, I had literally like 3 cards out of the whole set for my decks, and the rest of them were just like, this doesn't look fun. This is What am I gonna do that's interesting here? I don't know. I feel like I'm turning into that hipster, and I really don't like it. But it just feels so frustrating to be like, play this card with a wall of text and this card with a wall of text that wins the game. Every card is a game-winning threat. And it just
Welcome to Yu-Gi-Oh.
Anyway, we can move topics. This was 20 minutes talking about this. I didn't mean to make the whole thing about
You
this.
sure? I don't know.
I'm serious. I didn't want to make the whole thing this, but this was on my mind earlier when I was listening to one of my podcasts about the spoilers, and I was just like, man, I hate
It does suck.
I hate feeling like I'm that old man yelling at cloud. I really do. But like,
oh man, Magic is dead.
it's not dead though.
Well,
I
will say
so
I want
fun
to ask
play.
something.
Okay.
I did have this question. What would it take for you guys to stop playing Magic?
If I had to sell my cards, I would stop playing Magic.
Yeah.
That's the no joke intended. The magic of Magic is that I can just I can always play with my cards. They're never unplayable. They just may not be like super competitive. And thankfully, we all play Commander, which like if you talk to your other players in the game, it doesn't have to be a competitive game. So ultimately, I will never stop playing Magic. The question is, when will I stop buying Magic cards?
Yes,
and that's
okay. Yeah, there you go.
I'd say definite. It'll happen at some point.
Yes, I would agree strongly with that because I will forever love, like last summer when the Ohio boys came out to visit and everybody was over here and we had 2 pods of Magic going in my house. That was a blast. I get on almost every Friday with them. Me and Leslie talk about Magic all the time. If Freeman, every spare chance we get with like Leslie and Luigi, we play Magic. Like,
yeah.
It is so fun. There is no game to play with your friends like it. And I just don't want to spend money on this shit anymore. I mean, yes, like the Ragavan I need, like that's just it's not even like I'd rather not eat food. I'd rather have that
Look, there's certain ways to do it. I know you're super into every set, you're upgrading stuff, but like the way I do it is like maybe once a year. Maybe once a year I'm buying cards. So I know that even if I don't have the latest and greatest, like my deck can still function. It's still a playable
but Freeman,
deck.
I haven't bought cards in like over 6 months. I track what's coming out and I like tweak things online, but I haven't pulled the trigger on cards in a while.
That's what I'm saying though. I haven't even thought about upgrades and stuff. It's like once a year I'll be like, let me go dabble around and look at what I want to play, as opposed to just eyeballing the field 24/7.
I just treat it differently. I still have so much fun trying to craft. It's like I still have fun with the building process, but finding the pieces that aren't an entire wall. It's like trying to put a house together and you're like trying to bricklay, and then someone just comes along and is like, here's a couple wall segments you could put up, and I'm like, but I want to build a cool brick wall.
I know. I'm just offering a little bit of advice. The easiest way to not get burnt out is to just care less.
But I don't think I'm getting. I feel like I'm getting burned out with it, but I'm never gonna get burned out of playing. I'm just getting further away from buying Magic cards.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, stop caring about spoiler season, not stop caring about Magic.
Oh, but it's fun to see new cards and be like.
But I'm offering you a solution.
No, I don't want solutions. I want to be angry. Isn't that a quote from somewhere or something? That sounds familiar.
I believe I've said it multiple times, but I don't know where it's from.
All right, I was about to say what is this, and then I'm like, oh yeah, this is Facebook. I forgot that they renamed because they tried to pretend they weren't Facebook anymore.
Yes, I'll bring it up real quick. So in the wake of Twitter's failed verification program, Facebook is like, nah, we'll do it. So now we got your verified checkmark on Facebook. This is mostly meant for like online celebrities or like pages that you don't want people spoofing. It's interesting enough they're going down this route. It's really weird that they're doing it immediately after their direct competitor did the exact same thing and fucked it up miserably. But the reason I bring it up is because it seems like we're sort of on the verge of, everyone keeps saying at the end of internet anonymity. And the fact that, and I'd almost argue that the fact that these are all paid services can go one of two ways. Either no one's going to go on to it because no one wants to pay money, because who the fuck pays money for social media? Or we start seeing more and more services required you, and everyone starts getting verified in at least one platform. So I think we have two different dystopias ahead of us, and I'm curious which one we're going to end up in.
Different dystopias.
Dynasties and dystopias, dynasties and dystopias. What? That's the song from Arcane.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh man,
no, I didn't actually pay attention to that show.
Oh, I love that soundtrack.
I'm joking. Anyway, yeah, it was just a little interesting tidbit. We'll see what Reddit fires back with their next boneheaded decision.
Oh, God, can Reddit just not make me log in anywhere? I love. Technically, I have an account now, but I don't post or do anything. The only thing I do is upvote certain anime episodes that were really good on our anime for the Karma weekly count.
The lurker life.
Yes. I'm very much the lurker. Please don't make me engage with Reddit. Please, please, please.
That's fine. I'm only active on like 2 subreddits where I know I can't get downvoted, and I post like maybe one thing a year. Anyway, but moving on. Let's criticize some more company decisions. Except actually, I don't really have too many criticisms here. Nintendo had their Nintendo Direct. I think it was the day after our last podcast recording. So I brought up that it was happening, but I'm just like, whatever.
Yes,
We
you were
don't
like,
know what,
Nintendo
literally
Direct
don't know what
tomorrow,
we
and I was like, why do we need this in the news? It's
Because
going
I
to be
wanted
tomorrow.
everyone to know that I was either going to be mad or almost uninvolved during the next podcast talking about this. And this
what's the verdict?
I'm excited. We got some decent announcements here.
Really? You're
Including
excited?
I will
surprise
argue,
video games, which I'll say is always good.
I will argue that all of these were generally good announcements. So first and foremost, we got the official Pikmin 4 confirmation. We'd already heard at least one Nintendo rep say that there was a new Pikmin entry in the works. We hadn't seen anything yet. We've got our first gameplay footage of Pikmin 4. You can now ride on dogs. Look, they understand the market here. I'm just excited to play it on Switch. I didn't play Pikmin 3 on Wii U. My brother used my Wii U to play it. And then when they re-released everything for Switch, it was like a limited physical release, and I just didn't grab it. So I haven't played any of the Pikmin games on Switch, but Pikmin 4 looks fun. If I have time, I'll pick it up. I probably won't. Spoiler alert. Next big thing to come out of this was everyone who's been worried about the Metroid Prime trilogy remaster. There's been radio silence for a while. They restarted the project somewhere in the middle. No one knew when it was coming out, and then out of nowhere, they throw out the trailer, and they're like, by the way, the Metroid Prime 1 remaster is just now available for sale.
Awesome.
So it's out. It's, from what most people have been saying online, this is a good remaster.
Anytime a company just dumps a game like this, oh, awesome. Love it.
The one takeaway that got me intrigued was I have not played Metroid Prime 1 or 2. I played 3 on the Wii because when it came out, everyone was like, this is how FPS controls should be on Wii. So I got the game just to play that, and it was really good. And one of the things they're doing with the remaster is, since it's on Switch, you can use the Switch, use the Joy-Cons like the Wii controls for 3. So you can play 1 and 2 now with the Wii, air quotes, Wiimote controls, which is interesting because I really like that about 3. So I might try and play it that way. Again, if I find some time to sit down and play this. But I like that. It appeals to me. Moving on. For anyone who has Switch Online, you get access to essentially the virtual console, like NES, Super Nintendo, everything up to N64 you get. N64 is extra. But they announced they're adding Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games to your Switch Online subscription. I don't believe this costs extra. So for anyone who has Switch Online, this is a pure value add for their online service. And it is now moving, in my eyes, from this service is useless to consider paying for this service. If you don't want to emulate your own shit, you want to do things completely legal, you want to just have everything on Switch, Nintendo Online is giving you access to a lot of decent retro games now. So they've actually finally stepped up what you get for that service.
For a price.
Well, it's not absurd, isn't it? Only like $60 a year or something for Nintendo Online. I don't remember.
I mean, like, I guess comparatively, I guess it's not bad, I guess.
What is it? Yeah, it's wait, it's only 20 for the year?
Oh, that?
Yeah, for $20 a year, like let's say you just threw down $20 and got access to all these old games. I think that's a decent value proposition. Maybe for year one. Later years, maybe not so much. Honestly, for access to Tetris 99, which I was playing a lot, kind of a good value prop right there. Either way, notably from all of these, the biggest Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games ever released, the Pokemon games, are suspiciously missing. Even though data miners have found specifically written support for trading in the older Pokemon games to Pokemon Bank. So it's like, all right, well, they're very clearly going to add it with support into the current Pokemon games at some point. I wonder when. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. There's like a Pokemon Day announcement on the 27th, so keep your ears peeled. But moving on, next thing, delayed game finally gets undelayed. The Advance Wars remake that got delayed because Russia and Ukraine started acting up, and Nintendo's like, we'll just wait this one out. Well, Nintendo said, "All right, we're done waiting for World War III. Release Advance Wars 1 and 2 remake." Which I'm significantly less excited for now, just because between this getting delayed and now, I have a Steam Deck that can just play Advance Wars 1 and 2. So the need to play these again on a handheld with a nice screen is kind of diminished in my eyes. I'm probably not going to get this game anymore. But that's also because I'm stealing. Anyway, it's coming out April 21st for anyone who's actually interested. And probably the most important announcement, I don't remember if we previously had a date for Breath of the Wild 2. Was it Tears of the Kingdom?
Yeah.
But May 13th, we got the new trailer. It's looking pretty good. We got some gameplay in there. I should probably play Breath of the Wild before this game comes out, shouldn't I?
I keep forgetting that you haven't.
I own it because my brother bought it, and now I'm in possession of it, but I haven't played it.
I mean, it's a pretty solid game. My friend, for those of you who watched the trailer, I didn't watch the trailer because I was like,
You
this is
already know
one of
you're
those
buying this
games where I
game.
just kind of want to like, you know, I guess be surprised with, even though Resident Evil 4 is not for some reason, but I don't know. I love Zelda. Like, it's like one of my top 3 franchises really that I always go back to.
Wait, stupid
But
Zelda question for you.
yeah,
Which is your favorite Zelda game?
Wind Waker, hands down.
All right.
Wow.
Snap decision. I like that.
Oh, I have loved Wind Waker since I played it, and it's actually funny because that was when I first started getting into the Zelda games. That was the most skeptical one because I think I had the same issue as everybody. Like, I just wasn't a fan of the art style. It's so kiddie, you know? But when I tell you, like, to this day, like, I could go back to the GameCube version, and it is some of the smoothest combat I have ever played.
Really?
Like, it's so good. And I want to play the Wii U version because Wind Waker HD, it looks so crisp. So crisp. Like, I want to play that really bad, but
Yeah.
yeah, I love that game a lot. I love the adventure, the sailing, the treasure hunting when you do that, like conducting wins. I could go on about it, but yeah, that is my favorite one. But as far as this trailer goes, I guess Ganon talks, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think, yeah. So like, I guess it implies that like people will have spoken dialogue, probably minus Link, of course. But I guess my buddy's like, I don't know how I feel about that. I'm honestly not too sure how I feel about it yet either, but we'll see, I guess.
So can I say something about this trailer that I was surprised by?
Go
I
ahead.
thought that this game was going to take place in a whole different place. And then a lot of the footage made it looks like it's just I mean, obviously there's the sky stuff and the underground stuff, but it looks like they're just still in Hyrule also.
Breath of the Wild 2. It's not a meme.
I know, but like so I one of my other podcasts talked recently about this and it was like, yeah, this was originally another case of like DLC that got too big. But like, are you going to be able to import your save? Because I feel like, especially with how interactive and how much you were able to do in the world of Breath of the Wild, saying, hey, you're back in Breath of the Wild, but like, you don't
I
get anything left from what you did feels really weird.
This is a microbe spoiler for Freeman, but like whatever you do in the first game, I don't see it having any sort of effect in the second game.
Doesn't it
Like
have like a singular ending though?
yeah, there is only one ending, and like it's not like you do anything to the terrain or like you get anything special. Like all of your weapons and everything are perishable except maybe like your permanent stats like your health and stamina and
I get that. I mostly meant doing things like getting the powers from the Guardians, or like if you had the DLC and you got the upgraded versions of those powers,
uh
um, or like having the motorcycle. But like interacting with all the characters and like finding all the Korok seeds and everything like that, and I don't know. It just feels weird to. I don't know. Does it make any sense that like this is the first Zelda game where you're kind of still in the same place and it seems like it'd be weird to kind of I just hope that like you go up to characters. Like I didn't care as much, but I know there are people who played and got every Korok seed and went over like every inch of this game.
See, those people are losers.
Yeah, but like at the same
touch
time, like
grass.
look at like Kingdom Hearts. Almost nothing. Like, I don't think anything is ever carried over from game to game. And those things have
What do
deep
you mean? The
collectibles.
story carries over every time.
Yeah,
The
but
story
like
does, but
not anything you bring up, like nothing
like nothing
brings
you
over to
do.
the other
Yeah, but I'm not
ones.
even talking about stuff, but you still like that game is all story. I'm saying like Zelda seems like a series to me that is so much about the world that you're in. Like
I'm still lost. Well, like
Yeah,
you
I'm
mean
confused what
like
you're saying here. Yeah, no, the story of Breath of the Wild will impact the world of this game. Like,
no,
that's,
obviously, but I'm talking about like the non-dialogue things that like uncovering all those temples and things like that. You know, like all the little challenge dungeons, uncovering all of those. Like, are all those just going to vanish from reality as soon as this game starts? That's just that like
I honestly don't know.
like
yeah, I don't know.
opening
Let's
up
play
a
the game.
noticeable temple and like doing things that like actively changed the world in Breath of the Wild to like do the with these guardians and shit seems weird to like. Oh well, they all just kind of sank back into the ground and they went away. Like Zelda, so much of Breath of the Wild to me felt like you are doing things that are like a big deal, which was impressive for a game like that. But it like going and doing these guardian things, like shutting down those guys, or like I don't know. It just it felt like there were things in that game that I would at least be acknowledged or something in this. And plus, it just feels weird to just be back in Hyrule. Like I said, all the original trailer made me think, oh, this game is not just in Hyrule. They're going into some sky temple, and there's some big under. Remember the first trailer was that underground shit?
Yeah.
Like, that was not in this trailer at all, unless I missed it for like a second. But they really didn't bring up being underground or anything.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. You'll get my first thoughts.
Yeah, I probably won't play this game because I don't have time.
I'm day one playing this game.
That's
Well,
very
Michelle
fair.
and I, like, we're already like, yeah, we're gonna play this.
Who's going to be on the controls, though?
And me.
Oh.
However, she wants to do all the puzzles. She's like, I will do the puzzles.
hell
I'm
yeah,
like, well, what if
give
they're
her the boring
combat
parts.
puzzles? She's like, you can do those. I'm like, okay.
So what is this about my artificial intelligence infecting my video games? For
Yeah, you
real?
put this
Bruh.
clickbait on here.
Bruh. So, my buddy Fabio talked about this today. Or was it yesterday? Yeah. So, Gran Turismo, I guess they, doing a little bit of reading, apparently they announced this, like, Polyphony, the people who developed Gran Turismo. They announced that they're working on this, like, AI learning racer called Sophie, funny enough.
Huh.
I don't know if you guys remember what Sophie is. Like the original AI Sophie or whatever.
Yeah.
But this one is spelled Sophy. I forget. I don't even know if that means anything, but whatever.
I think the PHY probably comes from somewhere in Polyphony.
Probably. I was thinking. I was just like, as I was saying, it was one of those like, oh yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, it's just an AI that uses like learning and whatever, and it uses learning and whatever to pretty much learn what you're doing, and it adapts to your driving style to like go fuck you up. And I'm like, well, this is great. I saw him like playing it, and it's really hard. Apparently, they pitted this thing against like professional drivers in high grade sims, and like they're beating these like actual race car drivers
Damn.
Whoa.
like in the sims, and like that's like unheard of. So I think it's kind of interesting. And I was talking to Fabio and some other people about like the possibilities of this. Oh, one caveat of this thing, it's only on the PS5 version, and you can have no more than I think 4 other AI racers racing against you
Huh.
Interesting.
because it's too much. It's
You know,
too
so it's
much.
probably a technical limitation.
Yeah, it's too much on the technical for the PS5 to handle apparently, which is crazy.
We're back to the N64 era, 4 players only.
4 player only. hardware limitations. But I'm thinking, I'm like, there's so much possibilities with this. And as much as I am old man who hates technology, as in I don't like I'm literally I think I've said it in front of you guys a bunch where like I am Del Spooner. Like in the world of electric cars, I will still be like driving my own car. I will be wearing the Converse and all that shit. But yeah, like I think there's so many great possibilities with like if they do more of this kind of like machine learning, like AI shit, where you could have like unique experiences, like from enemies or like anything else, or like the environment even. Like if this shit like takes off, I could see it like kind of impacting like other games and like making really awesome like unique experiences.
Yeah, I think the
Do
one
you
thing
think
that kept
it's
me away from even as much as buying the new Gran Turismo game was that the launch was just so like the news cycle was just covered by how shitty the microtransactions were for it that I didn't give it a shot.
oh
Um,
yeah.
but hearing what they're trying here with Gran Turismo reminds me that like despite the fact that they are greedy as fuck, they are still actually pushing the racing game genre. So
Yeah. No, it's pretty good. I think they are I think they've come around a lot since that really shitty start. And like they're really adding a lot of quality of life things and like stretching the boundaries of like like what their studio can do. And like I haven't bought Gran Turismo 7 yet. I plan on buying it one of these like sale days and like when I don't have as many games I'm playing. So
yeah, I
but
like having on hands one of those quick like pick up, do a race, go do something else kind of games, and it's definitely the style of video game I'm trending more towards these days.
Mm.
I say as I'm trying to get through Chrono Trigger. Anyway, but Gran Turismo sounds like some Western shit, and
Oh
Chrono Trigger
no, we
sounds like
can't
some
have
Eastern
that.
shit. So sounds like my cue to just start whining about the Weeb shit. So
Oops,
we
all
got
delays.
we got a little bit of bad news, and then we're also finally crossed that threshold of the season where it's like, all right, old and busted, we don't care about that anymore. New hotness, we'll start talking about stuff from next season. So first and foremost, let's talk about the busted stuff. Um, both of Silver Link's animes are going to be delayed. Um,
Oh.
one of which this announcement was leaked a while back. One of these it wasn't leaked a while back, but they're both seemingly happening at the same time for both Misfit of Demon King Academy and I don't want to get hurt, so I'll max out my defense, or Bofuri for short. Both those are getting delayed after episode 7. I know Bofuri only is a 2-week delay, but with Misfit, they have not disclosed how long the delay will be.
Man, me and Aiden haven't even gotten to watch together since the other episodes came out, but now it's like, well, what's the rush? Who knows when we're gonna get to fucking watch On the Goat
All
anymore?
right.
damn.
I'm going to say something kind of messed up here.
Uh-oh.
I'm low key glad they got delayed because I'm so far behind. I need an opportunity to catch up on
Yeah.
this shit. But I'm not, I am not enjoying any of these shows. They're all decent follow ups to their last season. But they've been low priority because there's been several bangers that I must stay caught up on. One of which one of which we'll talk about later. Moving on, more announcements. Slime season 3, we already knew was happening because they confirmed it along with the movie at the end of season 2. Season 3 got its official air date of April of next year. That's right.
Jesus.
We didn't read this wrong. 24. The week that everyone's announcing
Wow.
shit airing this year, Slime is like, nah. To celebrate our 10th anniversary, you're gonna wait another year
God,
Damn.
10th
Get the fuck.
anniversary. Stop.
of the franchise, not of the anime.
It
The anime
doesn't
only came out
matter.
like
It's too long.
2017.
It's still too long. The
Yeah,
fuck.
this has been 10 years of slime shit. Anyway, to celebrate the 10 years, we are getting a 3-episode OVA in the fall. I think it takes place after season 1, so like Ruru is not bustedly OP yet, but he's still got a whole village of people who are very strong. So we'll see what they do. I'm pretty sure that was the time frame that Slime Diaries took place in.
No, Slime Diaries was later.
Oh really?
Yeah. There was a lot of character progression when
Damn,
Slime Diaries happened.
shows how little I know from skipping that show.
Yes, correct.
Anyway, let's talk about our first undelay. So,
Undelay.
Uncle from Another World, which as everyone remembers, was supposed to air from like June to September, and then it got delayed, and then was supposed to air from September to December, and then at the very end also got delayed. Now that final episode from that June anime is coming out on March 8th. So we'll finally get the last season of Uncle from Another World. We'll see what Netflix does because they still haven't released anything past episode 7, despite the fact that everything through episode 11 came out in Japan. Netflix, please. We understand your Gambit didn't pay off. You didn't get to release the whole thing as a batch, but please stop making us suffer. Just want to finish this stupid anime. But speaking of stupid anime, the follow-up to the Rassel Doesn't Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai franchise, which its last entry, Rassel Does Not Dream of a Dreaming Girl, came out like 4 years ago now. This franchise is no one's heard anything out of it.
It's funny. It doesn't feel like that because we only watched it recently.
Yes, it was a big rewatch because it had been literally years since I had seen it. Like I think it was.
And we were like, Freeman, we didn't get to watch this yet.
I'm trying to remember what it was. I think it was like beginning. Maybe it was more recent. It was like beginning of 21. It was like right after Vaccines went out. I went to see it in theaters. Or actually, no, it might have been right after the Demon Slayer movie. Either way, it's been a hot minute, and now they had already announced they were coming back for a movie. But now they confirmed the movie is this summer, and it's called Rassel Does Not Dream of a Sister Venturing Out. These titles are stupid, but for anyone who is out of the loop on this one, the sister who had a very pivotal arc at the end of season 1, it seems like this movie is all about her.
Yeah, not for nothing. Her arc is over.
Or
I don't understand what could stop.
Or is it?
Look,
we'll find out this summer in Japanese theaters.
Look, Rascal was good, but legitimately, I don't understand what the point of coming out with this is when literally the main mystery of the whole show was resolved in the last bit.
I'm introduced a new mystery. Let's
milk this franchise. Why about a character? Like we already know what happened to Kaide. She already had her arc.
Yeah, we know what happened. We don't know what will happen then.
Oh, good lord.
Anything can happen with these stupidly named light novels.
Look, I'm all for sequels. Most of what I'm watching these days is sequels, but good lord, can we please stop bringing back things that didn't need to continue?
Nah.
I mean, I'll watch this movie. It's upsetting realizing how long it's been. The fact that the gap has been so long that the band, the Peggies, that everyone wanted to see come back and do more openings to them, has just straight up broken up in the time it's taken for more stuff to come out. But I'm actually going to shuffle the order on the Weeb shit because I mentioned the Peggies because they did the first opening to Rent a Girlfriend, which, as we all know, Trash of the Year is getting its season 3. I think Luigi's excited for this, even though I don't know if he watched season 2 yet. But the fact that this is out in July, we will have had 2 seasons of Rent a Girlfriend air before Attack on Titan final season part 3 part has come out. I can't believe this shit. This is
that
awful.
On the docket?
No, it's not.
Didn't we get dates
finally? We talked
for
about it last week.
Surprise!
I thought they actually announced the dates like for the 1-hour season opener part thing.
Might as well talk about it here. It's March, and they confirmed it is a full 1-hour run length without commercial break. So it's the equivalent of
So we're gonna all skip D&D that week, and we're gonna all fucking watch this together.
Yeah, probably.
No, Freeman, I was waiting for you to be like, I'll watch it with the other group.
I'll have to deal with some criticism from the other group. In fact,
you showed us this show.
Hear me out. You can lie to them.
No, Tyler.
Who do you think showed them this show? I've been infecting people with the Titan bug for like a larger part of a decade at this point.
And now the parasite is turning around to pull you in, and you're
yeah, I know, right? Like,
literally the parasite.
Oh wow, I didn't realize Black Clover.
I'm just saying. You could lie to them.
I could lie to them.
It's not.
He could also lie to us.
One of them mentioned they might listen to the podcast.
That's a dangerous power to unlock.
Anyway, Black Clover. Let's talk about this. So, Black Clover, my favorite show that I love, but I tell other people don't bother watching. Black Clover had a rough start, but it finished very, very strong, and I wish it didn't go on hiatus for running out of material. But the movie, the next canon arc they're doing as a movie, got delayed. I'm pretty sure it was supposed to come out in February on Netflix, and this was a global release. Like Japan and US just all get it on Netflix at the same time. They pushed that back till June. It was already delayed, air quotes, indefinitely. June is them saying, okay, well, now here's the new date. So I can dig. It's been literally years now since Black Clover ended, and I just want to see more because it got good and then it just ended, unfortunately. But we'll see. Very excited for this movie. I don't know anyone else watching this. And the last 2 are announcements from Crunchyroll about shows that will be airing next season. The first I'm really excited for because it's basically One Punch Man Goes to Hogwarts. but the show Mashal, Magic and Muscles.
What
Which
the
is
fuck?
Mash.
it's
There's
like
already a mash. I don't
like
understand.
like
That-
imagine going to Hogwarts, but you're like magic is your fist. Like you're just that's it. That's the gimmick of this show. So
Now I'm interested.
I heard that's not something like I'm ready for this. I just want to see someone punch another wizard. So that's happening in April, and then the big one that our whole friend group was very excited for is that Tonikawa season 2 confirmed for airing
Tony
in April.
Kakuai, let's go.
Fly me to the fucking moon,
Even
baby.
Tyler. You know
New
it's a
season
big
of
deal when even Tyler.
My moon
Yep.
goddess wife who can't be this cute is the
Oh,
actual name of the
yes.
show.
As the actual name.
But is she
Yosha.
from the moon?
We will never know. We'll
That's
be
your
mad
title.
every time.
And I'll tell you
My
what.
wife is cute, but is she from the moon?
I hope we never find out.
That would, Tyler, it's like the duality of man. One side of the coin says I want to find out. The other side says I should never know.
I should never know. I should never. I think.
Inside you, there are two wolves. One says, "This is my waifu." The
Stop
other says,
it.
"Is she from the
Oh,
moon,
God.
though?"
Oh, is she from the moon though? I hate
Do
it.
I howl at her?
Oh, God.
Jesus.
Anyway, that's it for the Weeb shit.
Voice chat eking.
Oh man, I can't get over how like Attack on Titan. I'm trying to think actually outside of Attack on Titan and Tonikawa, what sequels are coming up that I'm like actually hyped for.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that our whole squad is watching. I was like, the easy one is Spy Family 2. But
Demon
I don't even know
Slayer
if I'm
also.
hyped for that. Oh yeah, we're all hyped for Demon Slayer.
But I'm genuinely curious. Like, what is?
Well, like half of squad is hyped for Bleach: 1,000-Year Blood War Part 2.
That's fair.
That's
I'm
next
just
6 months.
no. Like, I just feel like there's been times where we're like, oh my god, there's so many sequels coming, and now it's like, are there that many sequels coming?
There's one sequel I know that squad is not excited for at all, and it's Rising the Shield Hero Season 3.
Oh good
Oof.
lord.
Oof.
It's still it's the number one ranked top upcoming anime in my anime list. Just because
How
of
is
the
that
sheer,
even possible?
just because of the sheer numbers of people who put it on their plan to watch list like forever ago.
4 years ago when Crunchyroll
Like
announced that shit.
It's still it's beating Attack on Titan for
Get
more
the
people on their
fuck
plan to
outta
watch
here.
list by like 20,000 viewers. Yeah.
Man.
But then we got shit like
everything was a
Jujutsu
mistake.
Kaisen, Doctor Stone, Goblin Slayer. There's a lot of stuff
Dr.
coming up.
Stone and
Also,
Jujutsu.
I haven't brought it up, but I should probably bring it up again. The Megumin sequels next season as well. So we do
Bold
have a lot of
takes,
hype
don't need
sequels
it,
coming.
but Freeman needs it, so it's okay.
Yeah, do I need it? No, but I want this.
All right.
All right.
So we have a whole bunch of stuff, as always, in the watched and played. Freeman, I'm very glad that you finished this show because our Lord and Savior, Lord Shadow,
Shadow-sama,
aka Atomic, is
Mr. Atomic Bomb.
so sad that Eminence is over. This, for a show that I was not going to watch until Freeman pitched it as Overlord meets Misfit, this show was my most I will watch this. I was on Freeman when I was on High Dive in the morning. The episodes were coming out, waiting for High Dive to unlock the episodes. That is how excited I was to watch Eminence and Shadow. This I told you guys this on Sunday. I'm gonna dub this genre crazy overpowered MCs who are too stupid for their own to make real progress. Like this, Ainz. Give me this is the shit I live for. People who are so stupid powerful that they can do anything and they're too dumb to actually make real good change for the world. I mean, Ainz okay, whatever. He's got his own thing going on. It's wonderful, but like Shadow is so obliviously stupid and has the stupidest motivations and is so too powerful. Freeman, how great was it when in episode 1, in the real world, he fought with the crowbars, and then in the fucking finale, against two of the strongest people on the planet, he pulls out fucking crowbars again.
I was waiting for someone to comment on them, either for them to be like, "What the fuck are you fighting with?" or for him to give his speech about how crowbars are versatile again. Like, I was waiting for one or the other to happen.
The crowbar, you know?
Yeah, the most versatile weapon.
Oh, just the pure joy that came from watching Shadow. And honestly, so Freeman, I was waiting to talk about this on the podcast. So in this finale, when he gives that whole thing, when they talk about him running on that tower, you know what I'm talking about, right?
And he does the light Yagami laugh. Yeah.
Freeman, I genuinely think that was a fantastically awesome scene.
It was just cringe enough to be good.
The sound effect on him screaming that last line, that distortion effect that they did, and then the way he does the "I am atomic" again, so good. I have genuinely rewatched that scene like like 6 times or so. It is so much fun to me.
Honestly, the I am atomic scene is not the thing that stood out to me this episode. The animation between his fight against the two sword masters, where just they would cut to this black and white effect.
Yes.
And they did this like maybe 3 or 4 times at the fight, and it was so cool. Like that stuck with you more than his closing I am atomic bit did.
I saw a bunch of comments on Reddit about how all of the key animation was by the series director for this episode.
Oh wow.
He did literally all the key animation, which is, I mean, all the comments and everything made me think that this show was built on nothing budget. Like this was not supposed to do this well.
This show was way higher quality than it had any business being, and that's partially why I'm angry at the show, because I'm like, why this? Why this absolute brain dead isekai parody? Why is this like the best show of the season for no fucking reason?
I can't wait to vote for this for multiple Anime of the Year awards at Crunchyroll's awards next year. No, there's too many good shows. But I will say, speaking of the Nintendo Direct before coming the day after, there is an announcement for this property coming tomorrow. And I'm really hoping that, unlike other shows that are going to get another season, like My Hero, every season ended with, like, the last 3 seasons of My Hero said next season coming soon. Jujutsu Kaisen, Demon Slayer, all of them are like, we know the next season's coming. I'm really hoping this floored them so much with how successful it was that they didn't have everything in the pipeline for a season 2, and now they're going to be like, okay, guys, we understand. We promise we're actually working on a season 2 of this show.
I'm hoping, like, they set up real hard for season 2, and not in a read the light novel way, more in a watch the next episode kind of way.
Honestly, it's actually cool because on a bunch of the Reddit threads over the course of the season, a bunch of the comments were like they did anime original stuff that was actually good. So anytime they do an adaptation that actually adds to the source material, that seems really impressive. And I know the creator, I think, was involved in this.
It's killing me because I want them to announce season 2, but I know deep down inside they're just going to announce a gacha game. I can feel it.
Oh, I was going to say they're going to announce a movie.
Imagine this with a movie budget.
Freeman, this already has a mobile game.
It already does?
There were comments on the final episode, the city from the last shot. That city, that whole thing about a dragon, that was done in the mobile game, according to multiple comments on Reddit.
Oh, shit. Yeah, they already have a gacha. All right, season 2 is basically confirmed. Good lord, these graphics are fucking awful. Holy shit.
Damn.
I didn't even look up the game.
It looks like a bad FGO knockoff. And FGO looks disgusting.
Sounds like my kind of maybe it's time for me to enter the gacha game world. Freeman has fate. I have
Oh no.
I too can be one of the 666 waifus who follow Shadow around and worship.
It's fine. Sid is a 3-star for some reason in this one screenshot.
All right, but moving on to shows that are actual high quality and not fake high quality that Tim likes.
Fake quality.
It's Tim quality. Misfit's not good. This isn't good. Overlord isn't good, but I fucking love him more than anything. But actual quality, us 3 plus Val took the day after Valentine's and went to see Kaguya-sama, The First Kiss That Never Ends, I think is the title.
Yes, that's the English mistranslation. It's supposed to be The First Kiss Never Ends, about how, like, you should fall in love and that first kiss should in theory last forever, but they translate it as The First Kiss That Never Ends, making the movie about this one particular kiss.
You know, years of translation and closely working with Japan as, like, you know, whatever. No, man. No.
No.
I don't understand why this happens all the goddamn
No, look,
time.
I'm not gonna defend it, but is it that terrible considering how many times in the movie they flash back to that kiss being the most important? I get that the main message of it doesn't make as much sense, but they do spend a lot of this movie flashing back to the kiss from the end of season 3.
Do you understand how important that kiss was? Jesus Christ!
I'm not. No. But that's what I mean. That's why I feel like that's where the title came from. Is you translate a movie where every other scene is, man, remember that kiss happened? That was Kaguya really used her tongue. That's the funniest shit in the fucking world. But like,
Freeman knows what I'm
the
talking
cherry
about.
scene from JoJo for listeners who don't know what he's referencing.
I think Gigok used it in his video today. By the way, Freeman.
Oh, really? Hell yeah. Man of culture. I'm not a big fan of him, but
Anyway.
I know he gets it.
You're not wrong. They put a lot of emphasis on the first kiss, but the whole like bookend of this arc was supposed to be that it's all about she wants President to kiss her, and then when he does at the end of the arc, she, at least in the manga, she mentions that it feels like their first kiss has never ended.
I get that. No, and like I said, it's not perfect. I just don't think it's as bad considering from an English viewer's perspective, they do constantly go to that kiss, so it's not like I wasn't.
Yeah, I'm just being pedantic about this.
No, and that's fine. Without knowing there were translation problems, I would not have said this was a horribly misnamed movie. That's all I mean. Is like I don't think it's so off base and incorrect, but if it doesn't match the original Japanese, obviously I would prefer what matches the intent of the original title.
Yeah.
But what did we actually think of the fucking movie?
Yeah, this was the best comedy anime movie I've seen. Because there aren't a lot of good comedy anime movies.
Okay, hold on.
Fucking hilarious.
Hold on. You guys and Luigi saw the oh my god.
Konosuba movie?
Konosuba. Too many K shows.
I wish.
Didn't you go? What?
I want to see the new one though.
Oh,
or,
no.
There is a new one.
I'm saying you guys saw that and Freeman is saying this was the best.
Oh, yes. So, while the Konosuba movie was there were a couple key moments in the Konosuba movie where we were laughing uncontrollably, but like the whole movie wasn't a comedy. There were long bits where nothing funny happened.
That's fair.
In the Kaguya movie, like I'm not like the whole theater was laughing like at least once every minute, 30 seconds, another joke would get the whole theater laughing. Like it was consistently funny throughout. So maybe it didn't have the same big moment as Konosuba, but it was funnier overall.
I was just going to say, it was more... if you average it out, it's riding at a higher average, but it never peaked quite as high as...
Yes, that one scene in the Konosuba movie.
Why do I feel something? That's because you are feeling...
Anyway, yeah. I loved this movie. I thought it was a perfect follow-up to the last season. Just the right length for an anime movie. It did feel awkward that it felt like it was cut up in a way that this could get re-aired as 4 episodes.
Oh, it's gonna be. It's not even a maybe. It's gonna be. They literally had commercial breaks.
Yeah.
In the movie.
And at first I was like, oh, it's cool. It feels just like the show. And then I was like, oh god, it feels just like the show.
It
like,
really is
like
ready for editing.
Like there wasn't anything here that screamed this needed movie animation or anything. This
was not Mugen Train, where you watched Mugen Train and you were like, yeah, this is a movie, and then you're like, wow, they're splitting this up. That's weird. This is like we made 4 episodes really fancy and we didn't know what else to do with this arc, so instead of mushing it into the next season, we're going to release it early as a movie to make a lot of money.
Unironically, it has the same problem Mugen Train had for me, where I watched Mugen Train and I was like, damn, this is the part where they're going to split into another episode, and then they did. Even though Mugen Train wasn't as clear cut as Kaguya was. That's
what I mean. It wasn't like Mugen didn't have literal commercial. This has literal commercial cards.
Commercial breaks. Yeah.
But it was really good. It was really fun.
Very excited for the next season after this one.
My only concern is I want to see evolution. I want to see them start playing with, like, we can never run this back. I know they probably won't. But I'm just saying, we've had so many times where it's like, there's no way they run this back, and then they run it back anyway. Please never run this back. Let's just go forward, and let's just acknowledge they're together, and let's just see what kind of dumb shit games they can play, but let's not immediately go to, will they stay together though? I don't know if this is going to work out. That's just my big concern, but I don't think that's going to happen, so I have a feeling the next season will be good.
So the only other romance manga I've read from start to finish is one that has a similar kind of idea where eventually the couple gets together and the last arc is about them together. And I thought the manga was great for it. The anime can go kick rocks, but it's Love Hina.
Rocks.
And the last arc of Love Hina where they're actually together, I loved reading it. Like most romance stories just don't have that closure of here's what happens when they're together. And I'm praying Kaguya does it right. Because Lord knows I don't need Love Hina on my list of top romance anime anymore.
Because no other option.
Just because it had an ending.
What even is on there? Or are you saying only ended ones?
Like ones, like if I look at the list of like ones that have a satisfying romance ending, like while I liked Fruits Basket, the ending blew.
Did
like
Val finish?
She didn't watch final season.
Okay.
She probably should, but
I remember it coming up. I just couldn't remember if she had finished it. I keep mixing up. Because of the release timing. I distinctly remember that and Chihaya Furu keep crossing wires in my brain.
Yes, because the main character is the same fucking character. Chihaya's a little more confident, but either way, same general idea. What I'm getting at here,
a sequel, Friedman?
We never know. I don't know if it's happening. It's Madhouse, which is very random what they work on these days. Where was I going with this? Yeah, we need more romance animes with a conclusive ending where we see the couple together. Well, and I hope Kaguya does it.
Legitimately, I don't know how Tonikawa can make it through another season and still have content to do, so maybe it'll just end after season 2.
I mean, Tonikawa is the perfect example of they said, fuck your romance anime that takes 100 episodes, compress that into 10 minutes, and then just give everyone the part that they've been like begging for from the other show.
Everything past all the romance.
That's the whole gimmick of the show. Is like only the parts that you actually asked for. And after that
what
last
is it like
OVA,
to actually be in a couple? Well, it gets kind of steamy. It's kind of surprising.
Yeah, I would say the OVA is finally giving us the parts that we're genuinely asking for. So,
we'll they see. Fucking?
Yeah, we all want to know.
The world needs
the answer we were all looking for. Yes.
Find out next season. All right. Anyone else find anything else they wanted to add about Kaguya on here?
It was pretty. It was fun. I would say I was kind of mixed overall, honestly.
Yeah, just because you were the most like kind of down on it a little.
Because man, like there were sections. Those parts were like, I didn't laugh that you were talking about. Like I really didn't laugh, and I'm just like, God, this is like actually kind of sad.
Damn.
And I didn't come here for this.
Yeah.
And then it was funny. And I'm like, okay, well, yeah, like the funny parts were funny, right? Like, at least there's that. But like, I felt like I was fucking bipolar watching this movie. Like, next thing you know, like I'm laughing. I'm like, haha, this is great. And then like it goes down immediately. I'm like, all right, well, this is like it just wasn't a fun overall experience, and it felt like it went on for too long. So I don't know. I mean, like also like I was so used to like. When I watched season 1 and 2 back to back, like with Val, and then like the first half of season 3, I was like, man, this is just nonstop laughs. This is funny. And then it got really serious, and I'm like, this is not what I watched this for. But okay.
You talking about season 3, or are you talking about the movie?
Season 3. So, second half of season 3, and I think I even expressed this to you guys about it. How like I wasn't a big fan of that, and then. The movie was the same basically.
That's fair.
So
one saving grace that I heard that the content of the next arc leans way more into comedy than serious, and that's sort of why they did this arc as a movie, because they could get all the serious bits in one go.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's true, and I wasn't just gaslit by the manga readers again.
Fucking hope so.
After what they said about Vinland, I'm just convinced they're all brain dead.
Yeah, because they are. Because Vinland Saga's fucking banger right now, dude.
For real.
Shit.
Oh yeah, it is.
And if you guys, not you guys, but you listeners don't think it is, then you know what?
You're wrong.
Put it in the comments. I would like to have a conversation about it. Actually.
Yeah.
I too would like a flame war in the comments about Vinland Saga. Let's make it happen.
You mean Farmland Saga at the moment?
Yeah, sorry.
Can't look away.
I can't. I literally can't. It's all good. It's
Every
nothing
episode
but good.
I turn to Val and I go, "That was only 2 minutes. Stop it."
I do hate that.
These are there's so much.
It's really good. All right, we'll keep going.
Yeah, let's talk about Freeman's Kaon replacement.
Oh hell yeah! The newest and hottest cute girls in a band show has finally, well not finally, we're late to this one. This one aired last season. Bocchi the Rock, or as I put it in our show notes, that time I died of cringe, so I decided to become a lead guitarist. This show is meme reaction city. This is just it takes Kaon, it gets rid of the cutesy, just throws a lot more cringe jokes and a lot more real music playing. And it's kind of what I've like, except for the cringe jokes. I didn't know about those in 2009, but I just wanted a Kaon where they just played more music and were more centered around just the band being a band and not just cute girls at a high school who happen to occasionally pick up their instruments once in a while.
Yeah, this is definitely the band show, not the girls who do a band.
Yeah, there are multiple concerts in it. Music's great. They have a full album by the band out that I've been listening to all week. All these songs are bangers. But the big thing is that the animation on this show had no business being as good as it was. Every time a character moves, there's just like extra frames in motion where you're just like, whoa, back up. Why? Why is this person leaving a room animated better than like whole ass episodes of One Piece now?
There would be moments where we would watch this and I would just look, I was like, Freeman, why was that 1 3-second bit animated so well? It was wild. But also, then there were the moments where Bocchi turns into a T-posing 3D model and just clips through walls and then crashes through a stack of polygon squares.
That scene was amazing because what they were doing is they were trying to show the animation reversing in quality, and then they were just like, "What do we do for the last bit?" And they're just like, "Fuck it, CG model Bocchi and yeet her out a window."
It was so hysterically funny, like, and so out of the blue. It's so perfectly done.
This show is sleeper hit of last year.
Like Giga kept talking about it in like his videos and stuff. But like this show goes out of its way to not just have a character act slightly weird when they're dealing with stressful social situations that they don't want to deal with. I feel like this is really the show to resonate with like millennials and Gen Z, of like, they really go out of their way to make her look like she's literally like phasing out of reality with crazy shit happening because of
me for real
hating what she's doing so much. Like even just like the little sixes that they do of her eyes sometimes, Freeman, or when that time she falls on the ground and she just spazzes out and like turns into like line art.
I love that in universe someone's like, "Oh, she's just going through Bocchi time right now."
Yeah, they call it Bocchi time by the end. And then she just goes unconscious and they're like, well, time to carry Bocchi around for a while. She'll come back to us eventually.
This show is everything I wanted out of a slice of life and more. This is my, like, if you want a slice of life, this is must watch for that genre.
Honestly, it's funny to think that since the last podcast, I in fact rated 3 things on my enemy list, 8, 8, and 9, and the 9 was Bocchi. Bocchi is like my first 9 on Mal since Spy Family.
Yeah, I'm thinking,
and this was real good.
Yeah, recently I've been trying to like think of like what are my best shows in each genre, and I think that like right now Bocchi and Laid Back Camp are tied for like the slice of life show that I recommend.
Yeah, Bocchi is,
depending on what tone you want.
Bocchi is really fun and just like doesn't just act like, oh, she's just quirky and depresso, ha ha ha.
It's like oh good lord, she's quirky and depresso.
It's like I have to go outside, so I literally hide in a trash can, and everyone acknowledges that it's real.
God, she's just like me. Anyway, enough praising Bocchi. Let's talk about a show that's a little more controversial here.
Something we didn't finish.
No, it's something we started, and I know for a fact not everyone is following through on. But we needed some random shit to kill some time with on Sunday because we ran out of time to start a movie. And I jokingly said, let's all watch Trigun Stampede. And then
so we
happened.
Watched 2 episodes.
Yeah, we watched 2 episodes, specifically the dub, just because I want to hear Johnny and Bosch back as Vash the Stampede. Not realizing what hell I was causing us all to walk into when I realized that the mouth flaps in the CG are written for Japanese and straight up struggle to match the English. But we got through 2 episodes of Trigun. overall, I'll say to you viewers what I said to everyone on Sunday. Studio Orange is the best at CG, but it's still not the best.
Well, I was gonna say actually, they are the best at CG. That doesn't mean you're gonna like how the CG looks.
Yeah.
Because you could like it is technically like really good, but if you're not gonna like the style of the CG, you're just not gonna like the style of the CG.
Like, I think the basic gist of it is if there's an action scene happening, their style looks phenomenal. But the second you have characters talking to each other, it falls apart hard. It just becomes very, I don't want to say grating to look at. It's just it's not appealing on the eyes. I kind of want to look away when conversations are happening.
Yeah.
But I am interested to see, as someone who only recently watched through Trigun, I'm curious how they're going to do the story different because it is the original creator rewriting it. This is their attempt to be like, hey, I want to do another spin on my story now that it's been all these years. So the fact that the OG author's doing it is like, all right, I want to see what they have to say because they very clearly assume you've seen Trigun. They go through all the big reveals in the latter half, just right in the first episode, be like, hey, here's the flashback that we're just going to tell it to you all at once real quick. Show you who the bad guy is, show you what happened.
I was going to say, you know what's so funny to watch this with like Leslie and Val who had never seen the original and be like, you didn't actually know who Million Knives was until like halfway through the show, and you had no idea that there was a spaceship anywhere involved in this for a very long time. And now it's like, what are we on this space? Oh, we're just on a spaceship immediately.
It's interesting that like you go to the original series and like for the first half, Vash doesn't have a motivation known to the viewer. He's just going around doing, and that's how it works. And then around halfway through, like they start giving Vash more motivation to his wandering and what he's been doing so far. And I feel like a lot of anime at that time, like even Bebop sort of does that too, where you don't really get too much about Spike's backstory until I think it's like maybe episode 12 or 13, where it's like you get part one of Spike's backstory, and you're not gonna, and when you get part two, you're not gonna be happy. But it was that was the way they kind of worked back then. You could tell these episodic stories where it's like we can introduce character motivations later, and anime's kind of move where it's like, nah, you have to like set up your character motivations before the end of episode 2, or no one's watching your shit. So it might just be a product of this might just be a product of our times, but we'll see.
I don't know if I'm gonna go keep watching more, partially because I just don't know how much Val's gonna want to watch it. And I don't know how motivated I am to go watch it by myself.
So I'm determined to at least watch episode 4, just because I want to see. Oh my god, I keep fucking up his name after you fucked up his name the other night. Nicholas D.
Wolfwood.
I don't want to call him.
I wasn't even gonna
Wolfwood.
say it because I've gotten it wrong so many times.
Wolfblood, Wolfworm, Wolfwood. There you go. That's the real one.
I literally said Wolfwood.
I know. I'm just making the joke about all the ones I keep thinking. Yeah, big cross dude. I just want to see him. I know it's not the same voice actor as the original. I just want to see how the new guy's handling him. But I don't know. It is what it is. Moving on. Last bit of anime business for tonight. I didn't talk about the last couple episodes of the podcast because I thought this is stupid and the guys aren't going to like it. But it's now relevant because Val is watching this and is liking it. But I'd started Tomo-chan as a girl, purely instead of her normal voice. She's doing a much deeper, almost masculine range for this. So I wanted to watch this just to hear her, because if you look at the plot synopsis, it's while she's a tomboy, he doesn't even see her as a girl, but she wants to be seen as a girl because she likes him. Bam. Same generic ass anime plotline we get a million times a year. We got Nagatoro airing this season. It's the same fucking concept. It's just, waifu with a quirk. How does she get with main character? But the thing that's making this show appealing is all of the side characters are amazing comic relief characters. Almost so much that, like, as I'm watching the main plot, I'm just waiting for the side characters to show up to make the plot better. And I think that's why Val ended up watching, because she saw memes of the side character.
I was gonna say she said that was why she saw memes of the side characters. Like, this seems funny enough to watch for this. It's
weird because they are hard carrying the show at this point.
That's unfortunate.
I straight up don't give a shit about the plot line between the main girl and the main guy. I'm just here to watch the friends set up the plot because they're the meme lords. It's very weird. I wasn't all about the show. The fact that Val's on and now Luigi's going to watch it means that I need to make sure I follow through on this. But I'm just shocked that it's happening with this show in particular. Anyway, enough anime shit. Let's talk about other things. Like Tyler,
Oh
let's talk
yeah,
about DreamWorks movies.
I watched. Yeah, it was my turn to watch Puss in Boots.
Yeah.
That Tim lied to me and said that it was like Spider-Verse
It is like
animation-wise,
Spider-Verse.
and I was like, for literally first 5 minutes, I was like, this shit ain't like Spider-Verse. All right,
It's
I will say
selective
this.
Spider-Verse.
I'll bring it back after I said that intentionally
Yeah.
to say that it is kind of like Spider-Verse, or it's like Spider-Verse asterisk, right? Because the high action scenes are like Spider-Verse, but everything else ain't.
That's fair.
And that's my problem with the movie.
That's
Like,
fair. I thought the same thing. I'm sorry I gave the impression that it was all like that. It really is just that the action is very Spider-Verse.
yeah, which is like honestly like that's fine, right? I'm fine with it being like that. However,
Hold on,
uh,
I need some clarification. When you say it's like Spider-Verse, do you mean in terms of like the way it's choreographed, or in terms of like it's only animated at 8 frames per second?
the fact that it's only animated at 8 frames per second. so, so for viewers that or listeners, right? Because we're definitely not doing this in person for some reason sometimes. Well, aside from convenience sake. Um, in Spider Verse, it. What'd you say, Tim? Like it looks more like a comic book,
It just has
right?
like not even like choppy, but it's just like
It's just that kind of stylized thing, like in Spider
yeah,
Verse.
it's
I don't
just
Yeah.
very
know. Like
stylistic.
it's very stylistic, where like
Stylish, I
Puss
don't
in
know.
Boots wasn't.
No, it was just during the action they really have they like stretch the lines a lot. Nothing is really locked in place, so there's a lot more fluidity to the action it feels like.
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
I get not liking it as much, especially if the story didn't really stick with you. And I'm not saying it was some incredible story. I just thought it was fine.
yeah, no, I hear you. I hear you. It's yeah, it was but it wasn't my cup of tea.
Yeah, that's fair.
Though I didn't hate it though. That being said, I did not hate it. I just wasn't a big fan.
That's fair.
Yeah, I don't know. That's all I really got. Um, but I think Michelle felt in a similar way actually. So I don't know.
No, and
That's
that's
all I
totally
got.
fair.
Yeah. And then oh yeah, so I
You played
beat
video
more games.
games.
Yeah. So I'm gonna come clean. So I was fucking angry earlier because as you guys know, I've been stuck on Code Veronica for a while, right?
Yes.
So I was before the podcast, I was trying to beat it because I was at the very end,
Yeah.
and I got to a part where I basically soft locked myself.
Oh boy.
Oh.
But it's fine. Well, it wasn't fine because I was pissed, and it just takes more time. But what did I do? I just reverted to an older save state. Before like it was like an hour prior, and I was like,
Terrible.
okay, I need to give this person more because it's been over 10 years since I played this game.
Wow.
So like I forgot like how shit went, and like I thought I like for example like I thought I beat the last boss with Claire. No, I beat her with Chris. So
Huh.
I like split half my weapons between between Quiz and
Quiz.
Quea.
Oh God.
Um, so that was bad. So I ended up going into that fight with literally nothing. It was
Oh
fucking ass.
no.
So I had to go back to another save state, end up dumping all my shit into Chris so he could fight the final boss. And I'm glad I did because like it was almost just enough to kill them. And I'm like, how the fuck did I beat this goddamn game
Huh.
with legitimate saves? Like, I do remember myself like soft locking myself sometimes, and that was frustrating. But like, damn, like I noted like a bunch of times here where like I just soft locked myself,
Oof.
and I'm like, well, I gotta fucking restart it. Like that game was hard,
Ugh.
Damn.
but it's all right. But my confession is, I played it during the podcast, during the first half of this podcast,
Lol.
and I beat it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and I was like, silently, I was like, hell yeah.
Oh my god.
And I beat Resident Evil 4 in an afternoon because that I can beat no problem.
Damn.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. Though that was weird too. I don't know if it was like overconfidence or anything, but like holy shit, I died. There's like one section where I didn't die, but there's a section, right, where you first go into the castle and they got fucking trebuchets because of course they do. And they launch these fucking things at you, and if Ashley gets hit at all by these things, it's an automatic game over.
Oh my
Even though she
god.
has health, she dies automatically. And I was like, man, I haven't died to
Oh.
this since like I can't remember when. So it was kind of funny, but whatever. So I'm a few more games away before before Resident Evil 4 comes out. I still have 5. I'm skipping 6 because that game is abysmal. Like 5
When's the
isn't
4
that
remake
great
coming out?
either. Shit, when is it coming out? Hold up.
Time to Google it.
Hold up.
March 24th. So you're running out of
Yeah.
time.
Oh yeah, no, I'm gonna literally blitz through 7 and 8.
Ha.
No problem. Well, I have to start 5. But yeah. Actually, I was just testing to make sure that it works because I tried playing it on my Steam Deck and it was taking a shit. And you know why? You guys remember Windows Live?
Oh
Yeah.
god.
Oh no.
So it was trying to emulate some shit with Windows Live.
Oh boy.
Right? Yeah. And I'm like, what the fuck? And so like while you guys were talking about Bochi, because we've talked about Bochi enough, and I'm like, I don't have anything to contribute with Bochi.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, that's fine. That's okay. See, I substituted the nap time for productivity. And guess what? Some sweaty nerd online was able to figure out a fix for this.
Oh nice.
Because Windows Live, like it tries to boot up to Windows Live, and it just takes a shit, and you can't open it. And Steam doesn't advertise this, because of course, right? Nor does Capcom. But some sweaty nerds like, yo, you can't start Resident Evil 5 in Windows. Here's a fix. Just
Nice.
yeah, we know you can't trust us,
Oh
but
my god.
download these files from this Google Drive and just throw them in the file. It'll work. And guess what? It works.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, strangers on the internet.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you. But yeah, no, I am blitzing through all these games. I feel like it should have taken me a little less time to do it, I think, but whatever. I don't care. I'm also having I'm having fun revisiting them because I haven't played through the entire franchise like this since high school.
Wow, nice.
And like I played through the other ones like piecemeal. Like I played through Resident Evil 1 like a few times. I didn't play Resident Evil 2 again or 3 until the remakes came out. You guys know I play Resident Evil 4 a bunch.
Yeah.
Code Veronica,
Obvi.
I beat it once. Yeah, right. I beat it once, and I was like, I love this game, but I fucking suck, so I'm not touching it again until I just beat it. I beat 7 once or twice. No, I think I beat it. I got it. I played through it. Was it 1.5 times or 3/4? Leslie was watching me play through 7 because she wanted to see it, and then I don't know, she lost interest. And then I beat 8, I think like 6 times because I really liked it. I really like Resident Evil, listeners. I don't know if you noticed this. In
No
case
way.
you all were wondering what
But you've
one of
played the
my
Resident Evil games?
Yeah, right. Well, hold up. You play the Resident Evil game. Oh man, if YouTube wouldn't ban us, I'd be like, yo, I'm gonna show a picture
That.
of my actual samurai edge that I own. Yeah, listeners, I own a 92 FS handgun, and I swapped out the parts to make it look like the gun from Resident Evil. So like, yeah, I'm that much of a loser.
Oh my god.
Hell yeah.
It's true. Thing looks pretty sick. Did I show you guys?
I think you have.
I
Not like you
think
guys really
so.
care, I think, but I'm
No,
gonna
what?
impose it on you anyway after the podcast.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. But that's it. That's all. That's all I got. I got a couple more games, and everybody will be updated.
Yay.
All right. So I got two more things. One's an update, and one's an actual thing I closed down. So Tyler, we can talk about this finally. But I was watching with my other friend group, Umbrella Academy, and it took us forever for a couple people to fall off, and the remaining three like, all right, we got time. Let's blitz through this. So we blitzed through all of season 3 of Umbrella Academy in the last, I think, 3-week period. And it's been an adventure. Tyler, we talked about it briefly before the Kaguya movie, but like season 3 was not as good as the first 2 seasons.
Nah.
A lot of characters had, I don't want to say it wasn't like their motivations changed, but just like the way their characters were played all changed this season. Like Luther's an idiot. Allison is just straight up out for vengeance from the moment the season starts.
Yo,
It's
she was an extra bitch the
yeah,
entire fucking season. It was crazy.
and like the biggest
Dude,
twist
Tim,
of
it was
all.
like ridiculous though.
Oh god.
Yeah. Like it was I would argue. I think that's what we even said. Like it was like mildly character breaking.
Oh, it was 100%. It was completely irrational. Like while what she did has an explanation in universe, it's completely irrational that she'd go down this route. It just makes no fucking sense. And what's even worse, like listeners, spoilers for season 3. The fact that she makes a deal with what's his name, Reginald Hargreaves in the next last episode, and then proceeds to not rumor a single character as part of their agreement is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever seen. I
Yeah.
couldn't believe it. She didn't even use her convincing power in the part where it's like, well, let's convince everyone to do the mission. Ridiculous.
Yeah. Like there was a lot of stuff that I did like, but the stuff like that, like the Allison stuff, I wasn't okay with.
I mean, I like the concept of waking up in an alternate world where you don't belong. I thought it was
Yeah.
cool. I just think where they ended up going with the season by the halfway point, and then how they inevitably ended it, we're just kind of like, what? But
But you know what?
I am gonna watch the last season though.
Oh, same. I mean, I don't really watch it, I think, for the plot anyway. I think it's one of the few shows or like few stories that I follow solely because of because the characters interest me.
Yeah,
And so does the aesthetic of the show.
it's got a good style to it. You never know when a cool song's gonna show up. I'm always on the lookout for when is the umbrella logo at the beginning of the episode gonna show up.
Yes.
Like it's an enjoyable watch experience. I would argue they just need to not murder all the characters. While Allison got murdered as a character this season, Luther's still redeemable, and I still love Klaus and Five. And I was gonna say, like, of all the characters changing, ironically enough, Victor is the character who I feel like, despite everything their character goes through, has almost changed the least this season.
Yeah.
Which
He ends up
which is
becoming a simp.
which is interesting, which is an interesting challenge in itself. But overall, yeah, done with that. Got to figure out what new live action show I'm watching with that group. And then a quick update on Chrono Trigger progress, because I know this is the thing that's blocking me from starting Witcher 3. But if you use the strategy wiki guide, if they break it down into chapters, I think these are the actual chapters that show up on the save file. I'm almost done with chapter 15 of 26. So I'm
Jeez.
past the 60% mark on this game.
There we go.
Yeah. It took me a while to get through that Masamune fight. I wiped 2 more times. I'm just like, this isn't happening. It's been so long since I've been hard stuck on an RPG boss. But once I got past that, the rest of it has
There's
been.
some hard fights in Chrono Trigger, like.
Dude, these boss fights like test you pretty hard. Like, and they'll do
Yeah.
mechanics like, hey, you need to use Chrono to do any AoE things, either attack or healing. And we're gonna throw a boss at you that needs you to respond with only one of Chrono's abilities, or you eat shit. But also you need AoE healing. And it's like, back up. I need to like very, very carefully manage when his ATB gauge is off cooldown and everyone else is secondary. And it was a very weird angle to have to approach the fight.
But I
And
loved it.
I
Though.
like this. It's very creative. Like I'm never expecting the boss mechanic.
It's great. And that's why I liked Chrono Trigger so much because like it made me feel like I was actually just playing a game. Like because it goes into more than just like, oh, I can level up my guys and like you can do that, but like that doesn't mean you're not gonna get pug stomp at the boss, right?
Also, I
Like the
think
boss is
the
still gonna
game
throw a
scales.
challenge.
I think the game scales the enemies to your level to a certain degree. So like grinding, this isn't like Final Fantasy IV where if you just grind enough, nothing's a challenge anymore. Like I know
Yeah.
certain zones will always be like underneath your level depending on story progression, but like generally, this game doesn't favor grinding, and it's certainly interesting because I had to give up on it. I was playing Super Mario RPG when I first got my Retro Pocket like a year and a half ago, and this is still that same kind of era of Square Enix RPGs, and it's interesting to see certain things like both games you don't really have to level up that much, and more importantly, the thing that always gets me in these older RPGs is I lose where I'm supposed to go next. Both Mario RPG as well as Chrono Trigger have a very clearly marked spot where it's like, hey, if you're ever lost, go here and talk to this guy. He'll tell you where you're supposed to go. So I really like that. But yeah, let's see if I can blitz through this. Hopefully, I'll get some free time once I wrap up this employee training at work. But yeah, that's it for the Chrono Trigger update.
Hell
Whoa.
yeah.
Tim, you want to lead the charge on the last thing we did this week?
Yeah, so this was just a fun thing that the three of us did. So randomly, so this past Sunday, we didn't think Leslie was going to make it to D&D, so we were like, oh, what other plans can we make? And Freeman goes, well, I have this Gundam kit I've been wanting to put together.
In fact, I have many.
This aerial kit, now that we finished Witch from Mercury. And then Tyler goes, I've got this Tall Geese 3 that I've been looking to finish. What if we just do a build day? What if we just make a knitting club for the three of us to build Gundam models? And so we did. I bought myself a $25 Barbados. I bought myself a little kit with tools, and the three of us sat at the game table in my basement, and we built Gundams for about 3 hours straight.
I think mine was closer to 5 because I sat there painting after you guys had finished.
Well, did you even finish?
I finished the top half.
Yeah, the torso you finished.
That's
like,
right.
Torso,
I remember you showed us. That's
shoulders,
right.
arms, head.
Everyone was hanging out, eating dinner, and Freeman's just like, guys, I'm still painting.
Yeah, but
it
he's
was
got
like-
the high detail.
No, I know.
All right, 'cause it
Freeman's
was-
looks gorgeous.
So for any listeners that know, it's just a high grade. But I was panel lining, and I needed to make sure that each part was lined correctly before I assembled it. And I was like, maybe I was starting. I'd finished the right arm. I'm starting the left arm, and most of the gang walks in. It's like, well, I'm not going to leave it unfinished here. Like I need to finish the arm at least. So for like the remaining hour, I was sitting there like painting, just working on the arm. And now I have to figure out what I'm going to finish this kit.
Yeah, I didn't do nearly as detailed. I didn't even shave down the plastic nubs all the way. But it was really cool to see Barbados holding the mace that's bigger than the Gundam and actually balancing the kit and putting the tail on. It was all pretty rad.
What'd you think of the build experience?
It was fine. I don't. I
Is
guess
it the
I'll say that-
stickers, Tim?
What?
Do the stickers drive you over the
fuck
edge?
stickers. Those tiny
Yeah, they're
little
the
pieces
worst.
of shit that don't want to that they want to bend around like 180-degree corners for no fucking
Can't-
reason.
Can't get these fucking lips right.
Get these.
Got these fucking lips. Got these fucking stickers.
No, just stickers can go die. I'd rather learn how to do painting in the future, but for now it was still fun. It was fine.
Oh, when I got home, I immediately bought paint
Hell yeah.
and stuff, and like I got my kit because I'm trying to do this again with you guys.
Yes, I'm more than willing to save my backlog for some more Gundam build days.
Unless Tim doesn't want to, I get it. I get
What?
it. Yeah.
What? No.
Yeah.
I just don't know what I'd build because I don't want to just keep buying $25 kits for us to do a build day.
Yes, you
Oh,
can.
yeah, I mean-
yes, you can.
I mean, I would say we do it like once every other couple months or something like that.
Yeah, I would do it again though. Barbados is pretty sick, but like your Tall Geese was pretty rad with the whip shield and the gun and Freeman's aerial will be done someday and it'll look fucking gorgeous and
Someday. I just need one more of these days and it'll be done. Well, now we know what to get each other for the Christmas gift exchange that we don't want to participate
That we
in
don't
anymore.
do anymore because we were all like getting gifts for each other's bad.
Yeah, well, now we'll force Val to cancel when she suddenly gets a Gundam kit for Christmas.
It's the gift exchange. The only rule is that we all have to give each other model action figures that we put together
Damn.
ourselves.
Like the gift must require assembly.
The gift must require assembly.
Actually, no, don't do that because then somehow the Lego Lord of the Rings set will work its way into this gift exchange, and we don't need that happening.
Oh Lord
That's too expensive.
of the Rings.
Clever. All right. That was it. We covered everything.
We did it. We only took 40 minutes. We only took 45 minutes-ish to cover all the stuff we watched after the entire rest of the podcast was 50 minutes.
Look, we watch a lot of shit, and most of the stuff we talk about before what we watched and played is just stuff related to stuff that we're either going to watch or going to play.
And as we say every time, it's not going to be this much next time, so we'll have more time. No, but yeah, we're still in the middle of an anime season, and it was just those few random shows that we finished all together in the movie and everything. So, plus Tyler's only got so many more Resident Evil games to go.
For real.
Who knows? Maybe I'll have like 5 days off of work to beat Dead Space finally, and to actually talk about that remake.
I'm just double checking that Resident Evil doesn't come out on the one of our recording days. It comes out the Friday
Yeah,
after.
because Tyler's just
so,
gonna be gone.
yeah,
forever.
we won't lose Tyler. The question is if we'll lose him for. Oh no, he'll have a full. Yeah,
Will he
he'll
be
there.
gone?
Oh,
Yeah.
No. You'll be back. You'll have beaten the Resident Evil 4 remake by the time we come back for the.
Oh yeah, the weekend I'm dead. Like
164.
don't expect me.
Oh yeah. Should we
Here.
set aside that we're not doing D&D that week?
Nah, I'll come through.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Much as I, would rather.
Nah, you're fine.
know.
You'll have beaten it already, Tyler. Let's be real.
Worst case, he'll just bring whatever console or platform.
No. It's not going to take that long to beat. It's a long game, but Tyler's going to take all of Friday and Saturday to beat this game. It's not a 24-hour game.
Yeah.
Didn't you beat the Resident Evil 1 remake in like a day or something?
Yes.
You can beat all of them in a day, actually.
So, yes.
Gotcha.
All right.
Like realistically, you can beat all of them in a day.
Oh, yeah, no, I know. That's why I said this remake is not going to take you that long. All right, but we're going to end it here. Thank you all very, very much. Oh, actually, I want to tack one last thing on. I put out a vlog for the first time in a very long time on my YouTube channel. What was it? Excuse me. 11 days ago, Friday the 10th. And I got a lot of very, very kind comments on that video. So I just wanted to, I don't know how many people, that got more views than most episodes of the podcast get. So if anyone watches both, or if anyone's made it this far, I just wanted to say thanks to everybody who commented on that. It was really nice, and it felt great to get some comments on YouTube again after it being so dry, just because that's what it is. But yeah, it felt really good to get a lot of nice comments. So thank you if you were one of the people who left one. But with that, we are actually done. So until next time, my name is Timpedia.
I'm Friedman.
Just Tyler.
And we'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for listening.